Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, now I want to talk about the new moon that's going to be happening August 27th, and our new moon this month will be occurring in Leo, around 10 degrees of Leo. And of course, yes, I have to remind everyone I'm talking about the sidereal Vedic astrology, and that is the true placements astronomically where the planets actually are. So looking at this new moon being in Leo, Leo is a fiery sign, and it is the sign of leadership. So you're going to find that there's going to be all sorts of new people coming in talking about their run for the presidency, their run for Prime Minister, all these different positions that are becoming pretty vacant around the world pretty soon are going to be, there's going to be so much said about where the future is going to go with new leadership, because that's what Leo actually rules, leaders. And whenever we have planets going through Leo, it will either bring productivity, good things to leaders, or difficult things. But we're going to talk about what this actually means for all of us around the world, because I know this is a turning point. And actually, if I could say, August, September, October, November, we have the biggest turning point in all of history. So you're going to see how this is all about to unfold. Before I get there though, please, I want to remind everyone to sign up for my free newsletter where you will get all of this information delivered free to your email address. Go to galacticcenter.org and sign up for my free newsletter. While you're there, take note of my new online magazine, Joni Patry's Astrology Insights. We have articles by some of the most spectacular leaders in the spiritual community. You won't want to miss it. And you can subscribe on my website, galacticcenter.org. So with that, I want to get down to business here, because this is an incredible new moon in Leo. It sits in the nakshatra called Magha. And Magha is deep. It deals with our past heritage, our family, our ancestors. This is how we're connected to our past, and our ancestral heritage is what this nakshatra can deal with. It also deals with kings, leaders. So that's why I'm saying there's going to be so many people coming out of the woodwork during this time talking about their position and why they can be a better leader than the current leaders we have at hand. This is going to be a big rally in this area. And it's not just in the United States, it is around the world that you're going to see all of this lighting up. Now, Mars, I noticed on the day of this new moon, is going to be in Taurus, 9 degrees, exactly aspecting this new moon, which sits at 9 degrees of Leo. And Mars is going to be 9 degrees of Taurus, squaring it exactly. Mars adds energy. Mars adds power. Mars is very destructive too. So as you're going to see, there could be some kind of major events that are going to happen that deal with power, presidents, and maybe even big changes in this area. This is on its way. Mars squaring the new moon, the sun and the moon on this day represents action, going into a whole new direction. And I have to say, it will be a major change, and maybe it won't be so easy. It sounds like, oh, Mars is going to kickstart everything into action, but don't forget the nakshatra Magha, which does represent our heritage, People will be talking about the past a lot, talking about old leaders, what leaders did what and how they operated, whether we want this or whether we want that. All of this to persuade us in so many different ways. I feel like things historically from the past will be brought to the future to represent how we can change. But one thing for yourself during this time, I want you to realize you will be thinking more about people from the past, your heritage, your ancestors, how they opened the door for you in many ways to be where you are today, for good and bad. So this will be a time of a lot of reminiscing about the past and our heritage and what our life represents to us based on our heritage. Also, this will come into play as well in countries. The heritage, what has happened before, what we want to avoid, what the governments are all about, and how we can better attune to the future based on what our heritage is. So that might be even talking about, a lot of people will be talking about in the United States, for example, the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, what that all means and how we're going to either divert from it or align with it. That's going to be probably a big conversational piece throughout the United States. But this will go into play for every country. What their basis of their government is built on, that's where they're going to be looking deep and either changing it or going along with it. But this is going to be kind of a crisis. Why? Because Mars is violence. Mars is angry. Mars will kickstart something, and not in an easy, delightful way. In a more angry, violent way, possibly with Mars. Mars is also, by the way, going to be in the nakshatra Kritika while it is at 9 degrees of Taurus. That nakshatra deals so very much with weapons and war. Its symbol is a knife and a razor. It deals with cutting to the chase, getting to the bottom of things too. So you're going to find that this is what people are about at this time, getting to the bottom of things. But one more thing I wanted to add about Magha. Magha is a nakshatra that is ruled by Ketu. And Ketu is definitely about losses. So during this time, through all of the losses that are transpiring, especially in government leaders around the world, something needs to be cut to the chase and something needs to happen that is going to change the difficulties in this world. Okay, something is changing. And really around the same time as we have this new moon, we have Uranus stationing. So the world is shaking. It's shaking up everywhere. Everywhere you look on planet Earth, there's change. And even Saturn by this time is almost stationing. It's moving towards that degree point where it's going to be squaring Uranus. And let me just say, look forward to a time of transformational change on planet Earth with governments, with leaders, lots of talk of politics to convince people a certain direction. It's going to be really a fight between two sides. And we have to find our peace and balance, because one thing I don't see during this time is balance. It's all about to transform and change in a crazy time period for the next 3 months. So find your peace, find your balance, and look back at all of your ancestors personally. And here's what I would like for you to do that will make this month meaningful for you. or the next 2 weeks after the new moon, before the full moon. Give thanks and praise to your heritage, your ancestors, who have brought you and gave you the opportunities that you have today. Because in some way, they were definitely a part of that. And give them blessings and praise, and you will find you will be blessed in return, and that's a promise. So with that, I'd like to close. Remember, if you would like to study Vedic astrology, learn how to make these predictions, learn about the nakshatras and the planets and the signs, go to my university website and sign up and become part of our community, and that is University of Vedic Astrology.com. And if you want to learn more about me, you can always go to my website, which is galacticcenter.org. Thank you.